The revelation of BTC, Bitcoin, is accepting that it's kind of inevitable. And because of that inevitability, people are likely to allocate based on its potential of, being inevitable. And that will result in a continuing increase of supply being withdrawn, resulting in a higher price level. So there are those in the past who understood this and they saw that other people would have this realization too of the inevitability of it, and thus will be forced to accumulate. And this is true at 50k, 40k, 30k, double the price now, 100k. It will always be true. And for the person who at the current price level realizes that they have this, when you have that true conscious awakening, you realize that those people in the past that had said all these things to you, the conscious awakening that you are having right now, becoming orange pilled, they had experienced prior. And the conscious awakening that you are having now is the reason you're going to buy, because you realize that others are also going to have it. And it makes you look around and say, this opportunity or this potential value appreciation will occur because others have not had this awakening. Thus you look at others as if they're almost asleep. Like when Morpheus is walking with Neo and he's saying, look around, look at all these people, like they're not ready to be waken up. They're not really ready to separate their mind from the matrix or wherever it is. But this conscious awakening where you plot the inevitability of Bitcoin, you reflect on everyone who's ever said it, and you deep it that some people have been there from the start, 2010, 2011, and you think, wow, I'd gone this whole time without consciously acknowledging that. And you really say, wow, have people really known this? Have people had this same conscious frequency that I'm operating at now? Have people had this in their head from back then? And you feel this sinking of consciousness through time, where in one instance, you accept that others had experienced in the past what you are experiencing now, almost as if they had a present day mind or a future based mind in the past. But in addition to that, the reason that you have this conscious awakening is because your mind now truly syncs to the future. It's like being Dr. Manhattan, where you see the future, the present, past as one, because you're now conducting a physics experiment, or you have like a model, a simulation model of reality within your mind. That's, these people are doing these simulation models to predict the future, and you are able to look through this jelly of reality, and the fog of time has been erased. You see something that is once an uncertainty, the future is uncertain, but you have a mathematical model that almost looks that it can guarantee certainty. But the truth is that this is such a bet, this is such a realization that you realize it to be true. If you are now having this conscious awakening, then you are proof that it is true. And if what you have realized is that this is inevitable based on this fact, then it's like a chain reaction. And it's like do you get it? It's like you're realizing something, thus it makes it true, and what you have realized is the truth. That's kind of weird when I say it. You basically realize the truth. So you're like, I'm gonna buy this Bitcoin because other people are gonna realize what I've just realized, which is it's like a dumb religion. Now that I think about it, it's like a dumb religion. When people say, I accept that what is written is the truth, I accept the revelation is the truth, I accept, they're always speaking about the truth. Who knows what happened in their heads, yeah? But this is kind of like a mad religion, where you can actually go to someone and be like, look, I've discovered Bitcoin, and I've discovered that is the truth, and I'm here to spread that message to you. Because that's basically what the awakening is. When you can't explain it. You can't explain that it's inevitable. What the hell happened in the past? What the hell happened in the past with religions? What did they do? How did they have man saying Jesus is the truth and I'm here to spread that message to you? This is a cult, but this is a genius. How was Satoshi able to capture this aspect of the mind in a contained system? I find that funny. But I hope you can grasp that. I hope people can look at the system. Well, you can be orange-pilled, and when you're orange-pilled, you can start with a chain reaction of the indestructible, well, we don't want to say indestructible, but the soundness of the system resulting in the fixed supply of coins. You can say it's bullshit, blah, 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 but we're struggling to destroy it. We're struggling to destroy it, so it has its emission, it has its supply. If the coins are accumulated, if people, from those who got caught by this at the start, who just bang, they started accumulating. It's like their mind just, they saw this whole reality that we're in. 60k coin, 100k coin, wherever it is. They saw this whole thing. Hal Finney said 10 million. He said like first year of Bitcoin, he said 10 million. Okay, so his mind banged already. So you're accepting that this has occurred in the past because once you're orange pilled, you have that realization in the present. And you realize that what you've realized, others will also realize. Thus, it is inevitable. And it will go up based on that. Forget about whether you believe in Bitcoin as money, etc., etc. You just accepted raw. I think Hal Finney says, or Satoshi says, maybe you should just get some just in case it catches on. That is it. That's all he had to say. And then you're captured. Bitcoin was like a spirit capturing device. Money is a spiritual tool. What's money without it being able to capture your greed? Your need to want to hoard shiny objects and accumulate, and your fear of starvation and etc. etc. It's got to be that technology. But to reiterate, the whole Bitcoin thing, what is this awakening you're going to have? Simply that your mind extends and carries out these calculations, or it runs the simulation in your head where you're like, hey, okay, if this system is still here, then we have to accept the emission. We have to accept the inability to disrupt that supply, and thus realizing that the supply will be fixed, the halvenings will occur, and supply will be absorbed. It'll be if the price stays the same, it will be easy to absorb the current supply. Supply diminishes even quicker as people begin to realize, or more people are able to easily accumulate based on the increase in supply of fiat. But the price increase, as you can see, based on what I've just said, is inevitable. But when you run this model in your head and you extend it throughout time, and you see, what if this system is still here? What if this monetary unit substance is still here? What occurs? And once you learn about Bitcoin, and you're pushed a bit more slightly to just want to accumulate some. You see, maybe you lost a 4-year cycle. You've learned a bit. The price is actually higher than, or its lowest low is higher than the previous years. You may have experienced a 90% decline, but now you're too far in it. You're too far in it. You're told to keep accumulating. Oh, it's very loud. You're told to keep accumulating. You're getting ready for the next cycle. Once you see that second cycle, your second cycle, go over that all-time high, you're cemented. It really takes 3 cycles, because most likely on this second cycle, you really didn't believe. But this is a cult. I've got to be honest. The creator understood cults. He understood religions. He understood everything, apparently. Okay, but they created a spirit capturing device. I'm sorry if it's windy. I'm sorry if it's loud. But when we talk about Bitcoin, and we say, what's the big fuss? Forget about it being used as money. Forget about being used as a payment network. Forget about being convinced on that. Forget about that. When you run this model in your head, you have a awakening of being a finite being who grasps infinity just for that second. You get a 0.0000 a million zeros, and then 1% of infinity. That's too much for the human being to comprehend. But that's what you get a glimpse of that when you get shocked by this realization of, hey, what if this system extends into the future? Most people ain't really thought that far. Most people can't even run a model that far. You can't predict the weather that far. You can't predict what's going on in life that far. But you're given this system, and you're given the ability to reflect to that length in time. And you really get snapped. You really have that shock, and you say, yo, if you can really do it in your head, you realize infinity divided by 21 million. You get that grasp of something infinite. Yeah, infinite understanding. This is why people say it's like an awakening, a spiritual awakening or sign. Not that it needs to be that, but your head is going to be operating on a level that it weren't operating on before. Okay, to consciously extend your mind this far is mad, and into something solid, a solid system where we can see the supply, the emission curve, and we can run the numbers. You can run the numbers and be like, you know, we're at 90. I don't know if it's like 90. We're in the 90% now. Okay, 19.6 million coins around the halving. We'll reach the 20 millionth coin in 2026. Okay, and then by 2034 or 2040, we'd already be at 99% of the coins by 2034 or 2033, and then it'll be like 99.8 by 2040. Okay, so you know, you only got to hold it for 10 years to really experience, and then holding it 10 years after that is even madder, because we don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, so you just got to survive these 10 years, because I don't think we can see the supply curve. We know like that we're running out of coins. The network is running out of supply to emit, and I'm pretty sure people want to take those coins off of the masses before they run it up to ridiculous heights. Okay, so I wouldn't even be surprised if it's a Great Depression. But at the same time, there's no cost in holding BTC. There's no cost in holding it in secret. That's why the ability to secure information is going to be the most valuable thing of this current time. Yeah, so for them, I'm pretty sure their aim is to get as much supply in their hands. When I look at the ETF, I'm like, look, at the end of the day, not your keys, not your coins. They really have them coins. Okay, so I'm pretty sure they'll be running it up. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm planning on depressions. I'm planning on nefarious games. I'm planning on trickery. I'm planning on things going sideways and being suppressed, whilst you get turned into a debt instrument. You know, carbon tax. You gotta pay. You gotta pay to exist. They're tracking how much you own. You know, they're trying to they're trying to tax you. Yes, they want. This is a serious game. People accept that. Look, there's no one in control. There's no one they can go to break the encryption. There's no one they can go to escape the mining imposed, or what mining imposes upon them, the network, and their ability to interfere with the network. So this is like the entities that were hiding behind the face of things like the government and all these institutions have realized that, look, you're on your own, you're an individual. What really matters is how much Bitcoin you have. You can, like, there is no groups in this. There is no group, there's no government. There is no governments in this. You know what I mean? It's a case of, do you own the private keys? Can you keep that information secure? You are on your own. Everything now is just an illusion. It's just running this operation until people finally accept that not your keys, not your coins, and do you have Bitcoin? Yeah, the old power structures are just, they maintain power by being the face. You still look to your president. You still look to your governments. You still look to your establishment. You still see police as the authority. At the end of the day, the policeman needs to worry about whether he has Bitcoin, because at the end of the day, that was the spirit that was governing him to even do the job. If he ain't getting paid, he's not enforcing. He'll be joining militia, and he'll be serving the spirit of male aggression. Yeah, not the spirit of the system that extended through him via its system of domination and the slavery system and its incentive system. Okay, so you gotta deep it that there will be a restructuring of the power in this place, and they want your coins. So you have to get them coins, and you have to understand self custody, and understanding the importance of securing information, your generation of the keys, the device you're using to generate the keys. At the end of the day, generating Bitcoin keys to inform you, generating Bitcoin keys is as simple as flipping a coin. There's tutorials on how to do it. If you don't want to trust, if you believe it's too good to be true, and you don't want to trust any internet-based device, and you don't trust the hardware wallets, you think Bitcoin is too valuable for them to just allow you to store it yourself, and there's a backdoor, blah blah blah. It's as simple as, or not simple, but it's as easy as using the randomness of the universe, which involves flipping a coin. Yeah, there's tutorials that will teach you how to do it. It's quite a lengthy process because you're generating the randomness yourself. You must track what you're doing, etc., etc. Otherwise, you generate a false address, a false private key, blah blah blah. But this reality is that we are in a reality where you can securely store this asset called Bitcoin yourself, generate your own keys, your own private keys, which you will be responsible for storing and securing. Like I said, to add another point, when I said they're going to tax you, the old infrastructure realizes that this is the information age. There are new powers about, and they must monetize you or commodify you as a data instrument or data product. Yeah, this tax collecting regime, that structure that maintain power via that, they still need their money. They still want their money. They still don't realize that their head has been cut off, or their tail has been cut off, or their tail is being eaten by something else. Yeah, so these lot are still looking for food. They're still looking for food. They're still looking to survive. Those who get paid off of that structure, they still want to be the rich. They still want to be the wealthy elite, and they will be utilizing you like you're some cattle, but to be a data commodity. That's what the CBDC is. The UBI. It's all tracked, all digital currency, which basically makes you all tracked and all digital data producing entity. And then on top of that, they need to create that infrastructure to monetize you and sell you in that way, so that they can join this new digital age, this new information age. Because this country's broke, ain't got no money, don't export nothing. Money, the definition of money and where value is heading is changing. People are not trusting fiat currencies, etc., etc. It's all mad. It's all just a power shake-up. But I think I'm gonna end up there. The Bitcoin revelation. For those of you who get what I'm saying, who've had that, you can grasp what I'm saying. That you accept that other people are just like, if they look into it like this, they're gonna have this same realization. And thus, it's a chain reaction. That's what causes you to buy, even when the price is at 100k. Because there's other people out there, they didn't realize this. They were asleep. And that's what you realize. You realize that you was asleep. And for me, it messes me up to watch every video of someone like Chamath or just any other Bitcoin and be like, yo, did people have this conscious realization? Because you can say Bitcoin is inevitable. You can say Bitcoin is this, it's going to go up. You were probably saying this stuff yourself. But you didn't have this conscious increasing of frequency, of awareness, to really have it shock you. When your mind extends like your Dr. Manhattan, and you're seeing you're running a model, like you're throwing a ball, and based on the forces placed upon that ball, you can feel the wind, you understand the effects of gravity, acceleration, where it's going to land. You know where that ball is going to land. You've got that simulation model in your head. You know where the ball's gonna land before it's even landed. It's like you can see the future. You know what I mean? You're that in tune with this reality that you've reached that Dr. Manhattan stage where it's all just one cause and effect. Like Christopher Nolan, Tenet. I don't really understand that. I'm not gonna lie, but it's like that. It's like you're just so in tune with this reality that it's just one constant thing happening at one time. You see how one leads to the other, and it's like your mind's on a whole different resonating frequency. And I think Bitcoin is one of the only things that really will get the majority of people to that level. Yeah, to really just understand that you're only ever going to experience the present. Yeah, that's where the conscious mind exists at, the present. So for me, it's just like it's all one thing happening at the same time. And when you're really in tune, you can just get that information. Like if walking down the street was going to get you hit by a car, it's like you just have that intuition that something ain't right. If something in one spot is going to end with a brick falling off ledge and completely shattering your shoulder, it's like you'll stand there and you just feel like standing right. Stand to the left, you ain't in that future. You ain't in that timeline. You stand to the right, oh, something ain't right. You know what I mean? It's like this thing that we are, it really is, the future is happening now. Yeah, if Bitcoin creates some citadel, you can access that information. These lot are thinking about you right now. Them man in the future are thinking about you right now through this jelly, through this glue, wherever we're in. They're thinking about us right now. When you have that conscious awakening, it's like your brain is sinking for once. You're finally using the brain that's throughout the entire timeline. Because I see it like this: a future is gonna happen. A future is happening. You know, even though we're in the realm of possibility, potential futures, only one will happen. And it is that being that is looking back, that stream of consciousness that is looking back at that moment and saying, wow, that is what you're experiencing in that moment. That's why the consciousness is so different, because it's one that is truly connected to a future that is gonna happen. Or so we think. That's why we bet. We don't know. I gotta be honest, we don't know. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll find out.